Papa, and this is Student Spotlight. Joining us today is Senora Baiss, teacher and academic club advisor. Also with us are Kiki, Kollar, and Alexander Butrick, members of the team. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, what is academic team, and why did you want to start a chapter at Fitch?
I had previous experience in Toledo, Ohio, where I first started. I was a part of a team that we competed in a league, and I was interested in doing that because I did that in Florida and I did that in Toledo. And when I came here, there wasn't an opening, but we did have something called Quiz Bowl, and our librarian, Mr. Wilson, ran it. And he just chose a few kids, and off they went, and they competed in front of Stan Boney on TV. And when he retired, the position came up for grabs, and having the experiences that I did, I said, I'm really interested in it. And our first year, we didn't break into the league. I didn't really know that there was one, and then the second year I found out that there was one, so we really started grooming those kids ready for competition. And when we entered the league, we took off under Paul Farbman and I believe it was Kyle Russo and Sierra Dubois and Latrice Nelson. And we became a surprise to the league because we went from the bottom clear up to the top, taking on the top dogs.
Okay. So, can you walk us through the process of preparing and competing for a competition?
I'm going to turn that over to Alex, our president.
Mm-hmm. So, basically how we prepare is we read a lot of questions. And like in the style of an actual tournament, because that's the best way to prepare. You gotta get used to actually like buzzing in, and kind of when you practice like that, you start to pick up on like certain keywords. And for competition as well. The process of doing that, I mean, when we're on the bus, we just kind of, maybe take it easy, and then we also do some practice questions as well. But most of it's just kind of memorizing and a lot of stuff in classrooms, like books. There's a lot of books that I read in the classroom or personally that I can apply or that other people can apply to the actual competition. So it's just kind of studying.
And we have areas where each one breaks into their specialty groups. For example, Kiki is our resident artist, and so she takes all those questions that deal with art, and we just try to specialize in where the students are focused.
Okay, so what is the season like, and what type of challenges do you face?
The season is a lot of fun overall. We're a really good group. We get along very well. Some of our challenges is, for example, we have a lot of new members this year, so kind of getting everyone adjusted to the whole, format of everything can be a little bit of a challenge.
Getting people to buzz in.
Buzzing in, people trying to figure out what topic do they want to study, what interests them that they want to be an expert on, So kind of stuff like that, and knowing how other teams work and being able to go against them and,
Okay, so how does academic team differ from other clubs?
Yes, it does.
It's an academic challenge team, so it's one where we've had students design questions and we've had them publish it. We've tried to bring in some games and some websites that the kids can use. It's where academics are really accelerated, and you hear a lot about things like football and soccer and basketball, but how often do we really compete academically? Speech and debate, yes, we have areas where we do very well, but this is just focused in on
trivia. A lot of trivia.
Well, it's trivia, but you have a lot of things where you say, when am I ever going to use this? And suddenly, yes, you're using everything that you've ever learned.
Yes.
So.
Okay, so why is this experience beneficial to students?
How has it benefited you, Alex?
Well, for me, I've learned a lot. Actually, just kind of sitting there like a sponge, and it just kind of comes to me, And that's one of the main benefits and that's the entire the league mission is their whole thing is learn. Even whether you do well or you do not so well, just learn. And that's what I really like about it, because it makes it, school, you come to school and you always hear oh, school sucks. But with this, it's competitive, which I'm very competitive, so I like that. and I'm also getting something beneficial out of it, like learning things that I didn't know before. When in some cases, some of those things that you learn are like things that you would learn in the classroom, and then it randomly pops up in the classroom. You're like, oh, I already know that. It's just cool.
And you see the connection. So you see, oh, wow, thank you, and then the teacher's name. So it gives us a real appreciation, I think, of our teachers too, and what the work they do.
Okay, so what is your favorite part of being a member of the academic team?
I really like our group as a whole. Like I said, I think everyone gets along very well, and it's people that, like for me, I don't have any of these people in my classes, so it's fun being put into a different group of people and being able to work together towards kind of a common goal. And plus, I think it's really urged me, and I'm sure the rest of the team, to kind of look up things that actually interest them, to find their niche and run with it, I guess.
Yeah.
And we have a real balance in our varsity team, and we're striving for that in our junior varsity. But when we see somebody in the junior varsity excel, then we propel them into the varsity team. So it's interesting that we only have now two seniors, but in our varsity team. It's kind of a young team, but they're still running strong.
And I would say my favorite part of it is probably, like I said, learning, A, and B, the competition, because it's a lot of fun to compete.
Yeah. So how can students become part of this group in the future?
Well, we went from scrounging people, and it's so interesting. We had one where it's like, anybody out in the hallway ready? To 16 members on our junior varsity team, with the top of the crop, of course, serving in the varsity seats. So you can stop by any Tuesday or Wednesday. We practice from directly after school, and usually we have a snack in there. And then we run until about 4 o'clock. With the meets, we have to wait till the other team gets here, and usually it's...
if we're going.
Or if we're going away, they have to wait until we get there. But it's usually a 2-hour commitment there, and then we just enjoy one another and go for the ride. We did send 3 of our members to camp this summer, and so they got some additional training on how to make the most of being a team member.
One of the big things I like to stress about the club is it's not very demanding of your time. Like, what you put in is what you're gonna get out, you know. And if you just show up to the practices, which are only an hour, it's not like some clubs where it's you got to be there for several hours, and you're pushing back your homework, and then all of a sudden you're staying up until 3. But it's more of if you show up and you enjoy it, then come and show up and enjoy it. Or if you can only make some of the meets, especially in our school with how many people are involved in this, that, or the other.
Well, it sounds like an awesome experience. That's all we have time for today. Thanks to our guests for stopping by, and I'm Elena Perdapapa. We'll see you for the next Student Spotlight.
In association with Austintown Local Schools and Austintown Township.